Greetings teachers. In this video I'm going to show you how to use Plickers, and you can see I've just Googled Plickers and here it is. So you need to set up an account. I already have, so it looks like I'm already logged in. This particular technology, and we'll go right here to cards, is different than all of the others that we use because it allows us to overcome that traditional barrier of access that we associate with technology, especially or at least as it regards to students. So students do not need technology for you to use this technology in your classroom. You will print off a set of these cards, and students, you will hand you will assign a number to each student, a number associated with this card. And you will give the students their numbered card, and they will hold the card up to indicate what the answer is. And I'll demonstrate this when I get back, or you can just go to YouTube and watch somebody using it. But I'll show you how this is done when I return. But it's great technology because, again, you will download an app on your phone, the Plickers app, and you will administer your assessments using the app. And again, I'll show you how to do this using Air Server when I return. And then essentially what you do, like I say, is you give them the cards, and then with the app open, you use your phone to gather the data from the students. And I'll demonstrate this part of it when we get back, okay? If you can't wait, you can go to YouTube and watch how this is done. And maybe a lot of you already know, I'm not sure. I know in our one class Rachel demonstrated this, but that was not the case in the other. All right, so let's keep moving here. So let's go to our classes here, and you can see I don't have any classes, so I'm going to add one, and we'll just name it EDUC 316. And we'll pick a year here, and we'll pick a subject here, and you can pick a color if you want, and you just hit save. So we have a class. Now we're going to put our students in here. So we'll say I just mentioned Rachel, and we'll put Rachel in there, and then Liza in there, and let's just put one more in there, and we'll put Rick in there. Give shout out to the men. So we have 3 students in here, and you can see it just adds the students as we put them in there. Okay, we can assign card numbers by first name, last names. Of course, I didn't put the last names in here, so they're not. All right, you can print the roster and you can add rosters. That's beyond this video because I'm just trying to keep them short so you don't have to watch, 4 hours worth of videos. Okay, so we've got a class in here. We can add as many classes as we want. And now I'm going to go over here to my library, and I'm going to click on that. Notice you can create folders and you can create assessments. So let's just make a new folder, and we'll call this one EDUC 316 assessment. All right, I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to click on that. Okay, and so now I am putting these questions in my folder. Okay, and so let's just put in a new question here, and we'll say, what is the most technology for teachers to use? And again, we could say tablets. We could say interactive whiteboards. Maybe we'll say clickers. Okay, we can select the correct answer. Okay, obviously we don't have a correct answer here, but just for the sake of it, we'll say tablets. And we can hit save, or we can hit save and create another question. So let's hit save, and let's make this a true or false. True or false. I am glad to have spring break next week. Okay. Notice here, you can add an image here. So when I demonstrate this in class, I have shapes in a little folder, and I share that folder with you so you can create with me, and I can add a shape here, and I can say identify this shape, and I can put a square there. All right. We could use our cell there, and we could have an arrow pointing to the nucleus, and we can say this arrow is pointing to the nucleus, true or false. Okay, you pick the correct answer and you hit save. Okay, so we've got 2 questions. Now, this is an important part, and this is one of those parts where if you don't watch the video, you'll be confused. You know, it's one of those things, you could figure this out fine, but this next step is the one when I tell you about, you know, the Davies article that said the best way to learn it is through guided practice. This is the one feature that if you just tried to figure this out on your own, it would take you a while to figure out. Just like at one point in time, the same was true with Poll Everywhere with activating the poll for tablets. But nonetheless, once you have your questions, you want to go here to this little add queue, and you want to hit that, and you want to add that to whatever class you want that question associated with. Now, you can add it to multiple classes, okay, but here's what happens if you don't do that. So when you open Plickers in the app to administer an assessment, you're going to go through several steps to access the class and access the question and to administer that question to your students. If you don't queue them, you'll have to back out several steps, find the question, and go back in and give it again. So this essentially bundles those questions together as one assessment. Okay. Now, once we do that, we have an assessment, and we're pretty much ready to go. All right. And that's kind of for this one where it's kind of where, and you can see here, I go over to my folder for 316, and there's my assessment in it. This is kind of where this tutorial is going to end, because I can't administer the test, the assessment, through the Plickers website. You administer it through the app, and I can't show you that. Here. I'll have to show that to you next week in class, or obviously not next week because we have spring break, but the next week in class. Okay, so that's one of the things I'll show you when we return. And again, as I said, if you want to be ambitious and go and play around with the app, or you want to go watch a video on it, that's fine. If not, I'll show you in class then. Okay, and that's Plickers. I guess actually the last thing I could say is when you are administering the test, you're going to click this live view that activates it, and also your reports you will find under here. Okay, again, that's it for Plickers. I'll show you the rest when I see you in a couple of weeks.